Gary, put your makeup on. Put your makeup on. Hurry. Hey, guys. Hi.
Wait.
What? Oh.
It's
Gary,
too late. We're
knock.
live. We're live.
We have a joke for you. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Stop.
Stop who?
Stop 5 show.
I thought you were going to hit that right when I said, who's there?
No, because I think I was supposed to say it's Stop 5 show, but I don't think there's any way that joke works. So
no.
The good news is I didn't ruin it because it's horrible.
Did not work.
So,
no.
But you know what does work?
What's that?
Animals.
Some of them do.
Some of them do.
Jim, let's talk about the category this week.
Yes,
I think forgive the expression. Let's address the elephant in the room, and let's talk. Let's talk about this topic. Now, you confessed a few days ago, so this has become the tradition. At the end of each top 5 episode, one of us ambushes the other one with the topic for the next top 5 episode.
True.
And you, at the end of Fast Food with Chris Ward, said the next top 5 would be animals. And you admitted to me just a few days ago that you had nothing in mind. You had no topic in mind. And when you were put on the spot, that was the first word that came out. Is that correct?
Do you have me recorded saying that?
Yes.
Oh, then I did.
I record all of our conversations.
I know you do.
Safety.
I know you do. That's true, actually. Yes, I was improvising like jazz, like a great jazz musician. I was improvising, and I just did that little ski-da-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-da-do-do animals like that.
Uh-huh.
And that's
I told you.
And that's how I.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I have nothing to say.
Okay. Well, I told you also my initial reaction to this was, if anyone has seen the great sci-fi movie Ex Machina, there's an exchange in there between two characters. One character asks the other one, "What's your favorite color?" And the other character says, "Well, since I'm not 8, I don't really have one." So when you said, we're going to do top 5 animals, my initial reaction was like, since I'm not 8, I don't know if I have favorite animals. But because I take top 5 seriously, very serious, as people know if they've watched these, I sat down, I rolled up my sleeves, I opened up Google, and I started working on it. And I've come up with a list I feel pretty good about, as a matter of fact. I'm taking this very seriously, very earnestly, and I feel good about my choices.
As I knew you would, because I knew by picking such a mundane topic that Gary would do the extra work and really carry this show on his shoulders. And thank you for doing so, because
we'll find out if I carried it. But at the very least, I thought through my answers. These are my genuine feelings.
All right. Gary, to start the show today, I think the most fair thing to do would be the old pick a number between 1 to 10 thing. And then at random number I will generate.
I'm going to go with 7.
Okay. I'll go with my favorite number 3.
Okay.
Here it goes. Oh!
Wow, look at that.
You can't get...
I mean, what are the odds? What are the odds?
What are the odds? Gary, I will let you choose, actually, if you would like to go first.
I think since you chose this category, I think you should get us started.
Okay. We're going to get started. By the way, do we have any comments yet? Let's see.
I see we have
Leanne says,
Lujan, apparently.
He says, voila, which I think that's French.
Yeah.
Voila, Leanne. So
I think it's holla. I think it's like maybe a Jennifer Lopez thing. I don't know. Yeah.
All right. So all right, here we go. So we're going to start with this little magic action here.
Look at
that. And we're going to start with Jim's top 5 animals with a historically accurate rendering of.
Yeah, I think that's a photograph, right? That's
No, I think it is a lithograph, if I'm not mistaken,
Oh.
or a polygraph.
Well, it's very impressive in any case.
Yes. Okay, but and watch. You want to see impressive? Look at what I have. Jim's number 5. I added numbers this week.
You added the numbers. I'm so proud of you. I'm so
All
excited
right.
for you. You resisted
Okay.
it for a while, but
Animals. How about them?
how about them?
How about them? So this number 5 animal.
Yeah.
By the way, little criteria of my top 5 animals that I picked. My reasoning, and you can say your reasoning when you do your next one, but my reasoning is this.
Mm-hmm.
These are animals that really excite me, scare me, excite me, interest me more than anything.
Yeah.
Like these are the top 5 most interesting, coolest animals. I personally said that we should not pick dogs and cats because
I shot that down immediately.
Because those to me are more like family and they get an unfair advantage. But to each their own, I will not argue it. That's why I will tell you right now, I do not have dog nor cat on my list of top 5. But I will give you my one.
Something. That's no, I fully rejected it. In fact, the analogy I made, so when we did our very first top 5 movies, I came to you and said, should we just stipulate Empire Strikes Back? Should we just not allow Empire Strikes Back into the mix because it's just too powerful a choice? And you said, no, Empire Strikes Back is in play. That's my same logic for dogs and cats. If Empire Strikes Back can be on a movie list, then I think dogs and cats are in play. So
that's such a good logic. I did not use that logic this time. Okay. So this animal was a favorite of mine as a child in school. And then as an adult became very popular for a long time on shirts. Of course, I'm talking about the great horned owl.
Look at that.
I love owls. And to me, this is the king of the owls.
Look at that.
And a couple of quick facts about the great horned owl. It doesn't actually have horns, but it is an owl. Also known as the hoot owl or the tiger owl. Believe it, I've never heard it called either.
Tiger owl. I've never heard that.
I've never heard. The internet lied to me, but it said that.
Yeah, I'm skeptical.
This is the most widely distributed bird in all of the Americas.
Is that right?
It's got good distribution. Yes.
Wait, it's more so than perhaps like a pigeon?
More so than the slut canary.
Wow.
This bird's been
around. I'm
skeptical
of that fact as well, but I'm just going to allow it because you're the owl. You chose owls.
You need to talk to Dr. Internet about this, but I've always loved owls. If I saw an owl in the forest, well, I've seen owls in real life, but if I saw a great horned owl, which I don't know if I've ever seen one in the wild. I've seen them, I'm telling you, these owls. He loved him in The Secret of NIMH.
Yeah.
Very good, yeah. Loved him in Spider-Man or Daredevil or whatever. That was good. So anyways, I love owls. I've seen owls in the wild, not a great horned owl, but I saw a pretty good horned owl in the wild. but not a great one. So anyways, I love owls. And you can't stop me.
It's a strong choice. It's a strong choice. Yeah. Did you have the experience in high school or maybe college biology where you dissected an owl pellet and found all the little? Did you not do that?
No, at my school we did that. We did that with homeless people.
Now we're canceled for sure. So for anyone unfamiliar, an owl pellet is its droppings. And if you dissect it, you find the remains of whatever you see, like little rodent skeleton bones in there and everything. It's just a packed, it's like fur and bones. Everything else gets digested. It's just this very packed, the stuff it can't digest from whatever it's been eating.
Almost every animal that I picked eats animals that I think are really cute, and it makes me sad. But
Yeah.
I just love them animals. They're fantastic. So
That's an interesting question. I don't know. I'll have to think about that with mine. I
yeah.
guess there might be some examples of that. But yeah.
Scott says, "Oh, I remember doing that." But does
Yeah.
he mean with his own pellets or with animal pellets? I don't know, Scott.
You're
But
a little interested in this picking through poo thing. Like it's
well,
homeless
speaking
people.
of picking through poo,
Look at this. All right. So it looks like I have control, which is very exciting. Look at how the juxtaposition of it's weird. I don't know. I think it screwed with my formatting. Oh, it did. It changed my fonts. Well, we're gonna live with it. I was
Harry,
like, that's not what I remember.
That's why you do your work in Photoshop.
And that,
First.
yeah. Or you use a generic font. Well, just imagine this was a much cooler font and looked much more graphic designy. Just imagine that. So
Joshua Campbell is right now furious at this font.
I know.
This, right?
It's not up to my personal standard, I admit.
Josh is shaking his fist at the screen.
But I like that we both picked very tongue-in-cheek title cards. Noah's Ark, Animal Crackers. This is good. This is good.
Is your next slide, Gary? Number says, okay.
Okay.
Oh wait, you have control?
I can control mine. Yeah, which is pretty exciting. Oh, look at this. Look at this commenter. Best adult dating site.
Yes. Yes, many of owls and different animals go on these adult dating sites.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're the best, but they're pretty good. But there's a whole market for that. But this isn't the show for that. So I reviewed the.
That's not appropriate. I mean, okay. I know what they're trying to say, but wouldn't all dating sites be adult dating sites? I mean,
put user in timeout.
There we go.
All right. Go ahead.
So, what's kind of exciting, and it just shows once again that this was meant to be. Our number 5s are both birds. I think that's kind of now. I did not pick horned owl, great horned owl, or even mediocre horned owl. I didn't pick an owl at all. But the fact that they're both very clever birds, I think says something. Is it kismet? I don't know. It's something, but I had to go with crows.
Gary, oh my God, Gary, I am jealous and remorseful because I was going to put them as my number 5. We would have had matching number 5.
We could have matched. That would have been incredible. Of animals, if we matched, that would have been crazy.
I love crows. I love crows so much that
they're just.
I was going to ask you to call me Jim Crow. That's how much I love crows. Not a good idea, though.
No, terrible.
Okay.
Terrible idea. Crows are fascinating birds. First of all, let's just get the aesthetics out of the way. Both of us are artists. Beautiful birds. Like, yes, all black by first glance, but iridescent feathers. So, like, depending on how the light's hitting, they can look a little red, a little green, a little blue. Like, they're very striking and beautiful. Okay. But what I think, and this was a trend for a few of my picks for my animals. Not exclusively, but I tended to favor intelligence and like animals that were unusually intelligent in one way or another. Crows are shockingly smart and like they're learning more and more about them all the time. But like, for example, there was one study where researchers would go out in masks, which is a little creepy, capture them, band them, like put the little tracker thing on their ankle and let them go. The crows that experienced this would remember that if anyone walked by wearing a mask that was similar, they would do calls to warn all the other crows around, like, hey, look out. Years later. And if somebody walked by who didn't have a mask, didn't pay any attention at all. They remembered. On top of that, it seems like they have the ability to communicate threats, especially like people, because they can recognize faces, to crows that never saw that person. So somehow they're able to kind of transmit that knowledge, that knowledge that person's dangerous or that person's bad or something to other crows, and vice versa. They can tell them like, this person's nice. This person will let you pick at their food. This person puts down bread, whatever the thing is. And the ones they really like, this was the kicker for me. The humans they really like, they'll even bring little gifts. They'll bring like little shiny rocks or little funny things they found and leave them for you. They are really, and because of all this, of course, they're all through world folklore and mythology. The crow is a significant figure in different ways. Sometimes it's like a good way, sometimes it's a bad way. But the one, and this was one I always remembered. So 1,000 lifetimes ago, I was very interested in comparative religion, and I actually minored in comparative religion. And in the Talmud, a crow taught Adam and Eve how to bury a body. When they had to bury Abel, who was the first person murdered, Adam and Eve had never had to bury any before. They didn't know how to do it. And a crow taught them how, which is just, I make whatever sense of that you want, but I found that it's a weird little factoid that stuck in my head that a crow taught Adam and Eve how to bury bodies.
Wow. I think crows are super crafty, very smart, and I think owls are wise.
They're wise. Yes. They're wise. I think that's a good distinction. Crows are clever. And like, crafty is a good one. A little slippery, a little. There's always this trickster stuff around crows. Owls have kind of a dignity to them that I don't think crows have. But.
Yeah, and Leanne's right. I love crows. We do have a humongous tree in the front yard and the backyard, and we have crows all over the place. And I feed them any opportunity I can. I love them hanging around our house.
I love them.
And I've always. But I'm going to tell you right now. Spoiler alert, I did not put crows in my top 5. It was a debate. I was going to go with crow or owl. But if I saw an owl, I would freak out. If I saw a crow, I wouldn't. I love them, but
because you see crows more often. Crows are also a very like a worldwide. There's a lot of different species, but
I mean we've seen Sheryl Crow like 7 times.
So, you're almost bored of it. You're like, oh hey Sheryl.
Don't get me started on Russell or Cameron because I love
one of the many things I miss from college. I lived up north in this little town, Flagstaff, Arizona. It was a mountain forest town, and they had crows up there like I had never seen before. There was as big as footballs, just these enormous and I just loved seeing them all the time. You know, they were just
ravens versus crows.
Apparently, I tried to go down that rabbit hole for this. I wanted to say once and for all, what is the difference? And apparently, scientifically, that's a little fuzzy. There's no clear way to
bigger.
What's that? That's what I thought too. But go ahead and look it up yourselves, people at home. Apparently, it's like they're all considered the same sort of family bird. So, and there are, if you look up crow, like on Wikipedia, you get 25 different types. You have to pick one. Like there's all these weird different versions all over the world. So
I looked up raven on Google, and I got into That's So Raven rat hole, and I just for hours stayed.
That can be really absorbing. That's true.
So all right. So now it is. That was an excellent pick, Gary. Oh my God, I love them too.
We're off to a strong start.
Yes, we are. Okay, this next animal. I will give a slight spoiler. It is in the cat family.
Okay.
I do love cats, by the way. Absolutely love cats.
Yeah.
But this particular one, I don't know why, ever since I was a little kid, I was fascinated with this particular one, even though they're not considered the kings of the feline world, but they are definitely princes. And I picked, kind of like we did with crows and to a raven, I picked jaguars and pants.
Nice. Very, very nice.
Yes, there is a little shout out to Chris.
There is one there. Is Chris are we the ones on the bookend ones? And is Chris the black one? What is like where?
Sure.
Okay. Sure. Yeah.
Say that.
Yeah. Tell me about jaguars or panthers.
Well, they're native to the Americas. You can find I'm freestyling here.
Okay,
I know that you can find jaguars in Arizona.
Yeah,
they are in Arizona. They're in Mexico a lot, and I'll tell you what. before I look at the actual facts. Um,
You're going to make something up. Make something up.
I'm going to tell you what I personally like about them.
Okay.
I like that these cats they're very muscular, but they're very long cats. Like, but yet they are very agile. So it's like the way they move is very animated because their bodies are so long. You know, they're climbing trees and stuff. They almost don't look like they should be able to, but they're very, very agile and very graceful.
Mm-hmm.
And they're also very, very, very deadly, very strong. Their jaws are super, super strong.
Yeah.
And they're just beautiful, amazing. I do know that the Black Panthers, the Panthers are they're jaguars, but they have no, they're just like one giant spot. No, they're just dark. I don't know. They have whatever the reasoning. I don't know. But I absolutely do. Now I'm going to do the fake knowledge where I'm just pretending like I'm making this up. But did you know that jaguars hunt both during the day and night?
I did not know that.
Yes, they do. And jaguars love water. That's another cool thing about them. They love water. They have the strongest bite in the cat kingdom relative to size.
I did not know that.
That is true.
I would not have even guessed that.
Male territories in the jaguar world are twice as big as the female territories. So, and they get paid more than the female jaguars.
Are the female ones paid about 75% to the dollar?
Yeah, well, it's terrible, but
that's not right. That's not right.
And of course, again, just like yours, they've just like the crows, they've inspired many, many myths and legends.
Yes.
And often they're mistaken for leopards, but they are not leopards. They are not leopards. They are jaguars.
I don't know if I know that distinction. All right.
Yeah. Now, I didn't know that panthers were the same as jaguars until maybe about like 10 years ago.
I don't think I knew that either.
Yeah, but black panthers are beautiful. If you've ever seen one in person, absolutely gorgeous. But these are like, I think tigers are probably, in my opinion, the prettiest of all cats.
Yes.
But jaguars get the ladies. They know all the tricks.
It's true.
Jaguars they are stock in the bar.
They are street too, I think.
Yeah, they're
tigers, you know, it's a lions, a little fancy. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but by the way, a little side note: what's your feeling on lions versus tigers? Do you have any feelings on that? Do you prefer one? I'm a tiger man myself.
I think I'm kind of a lion man.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. There's something I mean, but I kind of like Leanne says in the comments, I love all forms of feline, like every version. So it's small differences, you know. It's but no, I think if I had to, like, you're absolutely right. The tigers look the coolest.
Yeah,
I think there's
a really cool mountain lion out here in Southern California called P22.
Yeah.
And guys, it's safe to Google that, but go Google P22 mountain lion. You'll see there's all kinds of websites. There's all kinds of local artwork on walls and stuff. But it's a local, and it's that mountain lion has like killed pets and livestock and stuff. But he's a legend. He is a legend. But I can't say enough about cool things about jaguars. I've always liked them since I was a kid. When I found out they lived in the Americas, as a kid, I thought that meant America, like all over. But
right.
Yeah, it's really amazing. And Scott says, "Do you remember?
Animals.
Do you remember which Hal Linden? Or am I just Hal Linden was Barney Miller, and there was a show called Animals, 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 and I want to say it came out like on Saturday mornings or something. And Hal Linden, you remember Barney Miller, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Hal Linden would just sit back there and he'd look at the animals. He'd go, "Jesus Christ, look at that llama. Like that. Christ almighty."
So you get really thoughtful. No, what I remember, I know for sure Scott will remember this. You will too, because we're all about similar ages. Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom is it Marlon Perkins, I think?
Yes. Yeah, I remember that one too.
That one I was totally obsessed with. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty. That was like one of the first big ones. Gary, how do you get emotional when you see documentaries like this?
It's very tough. There's some I just won't watch.
Yeah, Disney's Big Cat documentary had me in tears. Mama Cat had to leave her sick baby behind. That was hard to watch.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I'm the same. Yeah. And I
It was
will
a
say,
yeah.
though it's not my number 4, we have a little bit of, again, a near overlap coming. So just you're gonna have to stay tuned. Not my number 4, but hang it. So like again, kind of, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Like that. That's why we're like that, buddy.
That. This is why we're
all right.
Look at that. Okay.
You drive now.
Okay, well, you have to put it up on screen, but then I can't. There we go. All right.
Technology.
Number 4. All right. So in college, my original emphasis was physical anthropology. There was a lot of the stuff that goes along with that is like anatomy, early humans, like all that kind of stuff. And of course, a lot of interest in primates and great apes, a lot of that stuff. And I was always fascinated with all that stuff for lots of different reasons, especially the great apes. For review, the great apes are orangutans, gorillas, chimps, and bonobos, a different type of chimp. Okay. I was fascinated with all of them for different reasons, but this one was my favorite because I felt like it was a little bit of a. I think what was fascinating about Me to Great Apes was there's similarities to people, similarities and differences. Like it was interesting to look at them. It's like, this is how these are very much human-like qualities, and these are very, very different. And I think what made me like some great apes more or less than others was the combination, like that mix. So like, for example, I never really cared for chimps because in my opinion,
Really?
yeah, chimps always to me represented all the worst aspects of people. They're mean, they're greedy, they trick each other, they'll go to war with each other. Like they're just vicious, like manipulative, like they can be very, very dangerous and weird. And like, so I was like, eh. On the other end of the spectrum, orangutans are sort of the sweetest and the most gentle, and like the, you know, just they're very easy to like. To me, they represent only the good things about people and therefore not very much like people. This I thought was like the perfect Goldilocks right down the middle, and that is mountain gorillas. I almost did orangutans for this, but when I was thinking about it, it's like, you know what? I think just gorillas. Just looking at this picture makes me happy. There's just something about this. They're just fascinating, beautiful animals, like just really, really impressive. And like I alluded, they're of course, like all the great apes, very intelligent, but also in a way that we can grasp, like a very similar kind of intelligence where they have very involved social networks. There's proof that they can think about the past and imagine a future. There's even some they use tools. We've all seen the examples of them using sign language and things. You can teach them sign language and they can communicate, and not simple thoughts like, you know, I'd like some food or, you know, whatever, but like very kind of nuanced thoughts.
They use electronics.
They can, I mean, they're pretty amazing. Now, the only thing that I think the main reason I have them at number 4 as opposed to higher, I have to admit there's a twinge of sadness every time I talk about gorillas, where they are very, very, very endangered, and they like are poached and their habitat is getting gobbled up. Like you know, you can watch a documentary. It's very depressing. Like the scene, like it's very possible in maybe our kids' lifetimes or grandkids' lifetimes, whatever, that there may not be any more gorillas and like that. But setting that aside, and that kind of bums me out, and that's also why it's not like a number 1 or a number 2 or number 3. But I absolutely love them, like so much. I mean, look at this thing.
I adore
like 500 pounds. I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're insanely cool. Insanely cool. Yeah, and
mostly just sit around and eat bamboo all day. Like
you should. There should be I don't know if there is, but a penalty for killing a gorilla should be close to killing a human.
Well,
really should.
I'm glad you
You
brought
know,
that up. That reminds me of something I forgot, a talking point I forgot. Gorillas are not only like I love them so much, but they're intelligent enough that they're in this class of animal that I'm uncomfortable with them being in zoos. Like it
yeah,
just
I know what
it
you mean.
doesn't feel right. Now it's a dilemma because of the endangered status. Like it's
Yeah,
like, well, maybe they kind of need to be someplace safe. But there's some animals, gorillas, chimps, orangutans, dolphins, things like that, where it's like, I don't feel like we should be keeping them. Like it just feels wrong. They have rich interior emotional lives. They're very intelligent. Like just I loved SeaWorld as a kid, for example. I don't think I could go today. Like I just don't feel like that's I'm not judging anybody who does, but I feel like I don't want to support like killer whales and dolphins in captivity. And the same with like if I went to a zoo, as much as I love gorillas, I think I would skip the gorilla exhibit. Like I just feel a little weird about
then we're not going to the zoo
it.
at all. I freaking love gorillas, everything
Yeah.
about them.
Mhm.
I totally agree, and they are magical. They are magical.
They're
And
magical.
stop killing gorillas. Gorilla
Stop
killers.
killing gorillas. Stop cutting down forests.
That's right. See, we're making a difference.
See,
Woo!
we're changing minds today. We're changing hearts and minds.
Okay, I'm going to go to my number 3.
All right, I can't wait.
Number 3 is a beautiful creature that I cannot get enough of. It's incredible. This animal I can watch for hours and hours if I had the opportunity. It's just something about them just really, really blows my mind. They're beautiful. They are very, very fast.
Mm-hmm.
Very fast. They are not the cheetah.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're thinking that.
I was wondering.
But instead, they are the mighty, the hummingbird. I love hummingbirds. I think they are
what is going on back? What
where? What?
Why is there?
I don't know what
Am
you're
I
talking about.
seeing things?
Listen. I want to talk about hummingbirds.
Okay, all right.
Hummingbirds,
We're gonna circle back to that though.
To me, hummingbirds are, for one, they're very, very, very feisty with each other. If you've ever watched hummingbirds, we have 3 hummingbird feeders around this house. By the way, I didn't know you had to clean hummingbird feeders. Leanne educated me on that. But and I don't like to do it, so she does it.
Yeah.
I'm like, let them fend for themselves. But they go crazy. We have a bird bath in the front of our house, a little bird bath, and when she turns the sprinkler on that fills it, you should see they just get the hummingbirds are like so much faster than other birds. It's ridiculous. And one fact I do know about hummingbirds, without even looking anything up on them, is I do know hummingbirds can fend off a bald eagle. They can, because they're so fast. They can't. The birds can't catch them, so they can come around and I mean, if the bird wants something bad enough, they'll get it. But you know what I mean? There's no animal that can catch a hummingbird. They're incredible. So some other facts to know that are just maybe from the internet. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they are the smallest migrating birds. The name hummingbird comes from the humming noise they make with their wings.
Right.
Internet. Okay.
There we go. All right.
I thought it was because they liked blues and they would hum the blues all day.
A lot of people think that.
No sense of smell.
What?
I did not know. Yeah. The hummingbird's average weight is less than a nickel. And if
they have no sense of smell, how are they? So you put a feeder out. How does it decide there's anything in there worth eating?
maybe they just look at, they go, those things are at Target, and I've seen people fill
I've
them.
seen
And
people I've heard about these. I've heard tell of
one
these.
hummingbird just goes to the next hummingbird, goes, why would they be putting that out? Huh? There's got to be food in it. Come on.
All
So,
right.
but hummingbirds are an amazing, amazing, beautiful, amazing bird. And I don't know. I would like to know your feelings on hummingbirds.
I mean, they are amazing, and it would have been an interesting honorable mention. I think if I had thought about hummingbirds, I might have folded them into my honorable mentions.
They are so incredible.
They are. I don't think I've ever seen one just not hovering. Like, have you ever seen one just sitting somewhere?
Yeah, all the time. We have our window. We have one of the feeders is right in front of our front window, and all the time we could see the little hummingbird sitting on. They just sit on the branch. They just sit there like that.
And our cat. I don't think I've ever seen that. I've never seen one not in this sort of configuration right here.
Our cat a few years ago, our cat Roxy, brought us a hummingbird.
What?
Yeah,
there's no way he caught it though. Like, it died.
Yeah, it did. And what happened was, we figured it out. What happened was the feeder was too low to the ground. It was one of those that was bent like that, too low to the ground. And she would go perch herself amongst the flowers and just wait for hours. And sure enough. Yeah.
Okay, we can't ignore this anymore. Why is Kanye West watching this hummingbird?
I think it's a conspiracy, actually.
Wow.
I don't know why can't Kanye watch a hummingbird?
I guess that was a stupid question. I don't know.
A hummingbird with a numbing word to your mother.
Wow.
Anyways, I don't know why Kanye. Why not?
Why not?
He likes them, I'm
why
sure.
Not? All right. Okay.
All right. So that's mine. So Gary, let's go with Gary's number 3.
So my number 3. To me, there's lots of reasons I like this animal, but I think the reason. So this is from a family of animals I'm a big fan of. This one became my favorite. I've decided is my favorite because to me it represents the most extreme elevation of physical specialization. It is made to do one kind of thing and do it better than anything else on the planet. And its whole look, it has sort of an aesthetic beauty of like the form that follows function. It's made to do one kind of thing, and it's beautiful in its own way. It's unusual in its own way because it's so highly specialized to do this thing. Are you writing your prediction right now? Is that what you're doing? I see. Okay. Tell me when you're ready, and then I'm going to advance.
Ready. Damn it.
What did you put? I can't read that.
Anteater.
No, cheetahs. Cheetahs, first of all, as mentioned before, and this is when you did Panthers and Jaguars. I was like, we have a small, almost overlap here.
Cheetahs make my top 10 for sure.
Yeah, cheetahs are fascinating to me.
Beautiful faces, dude. Their faces look like beautiful women.
They have just everything about them is kind of aesthetically beautiful, and they don't look exactly like any other kind of feline. It's clearly a feline, but it's like it's very much made to be like the fastest thing they can go. Now, obviously, they don't do it for extended periods, and it's very rare that they get up to the speed. They can run 80 miles an hour. I just want everyone to think about that. 80 miles an hour. Crazy. A 4-legged animal like this that can get up to, like, I've had cars that couldn't go 80 miles an hour. Like, that is astonishing. And they are perfectly specialized just to do that. Bigger heart than usual, bigger lungs than usual, amazing eyes among cats, which is like their eyes are pretty darn good. long legs, lean body. They're fairly small. They're not super heavy.
They're awesome.
And
Awesome.
what's I think most interesting about them is they have no real natural aggression toward people. Unlike a lot of other felines, like a lion, you don't want to end up meeting, outside a very controlled situation. Tiger, ask Siegfried and Roy, you want to be a little careful with your tigers. Jaguars, panthers, all that stuff, mountain lions, you want to be careful. Cheetahs have no kind of natural aggressive tendency toward people as a general rule. You might find a sick one, a weird one, a hungry one, you never know, but generally. And as a matter of fact, there's record of them being tamed and kept as pets all the way back in like ancient Egypt. Like they're kind of cool with people. And I've always imagined if I was fabulously wealthy, this would be my stupid rich idiot splurge. Would be like, I want a pet cheetah. Like I want a cheetah walking around my house.
By the way, Josh just posted his top 5. Yes. I'm gonna play those before we do our number 1. Remind me, I want to play some of the comments. And Josh, I'll put your top 5. And if anybody has a top 5, let's go ahead and put them in the chat. But Leanne's backing me up. Beautiful faces. Cheetahs look like they wear makeup. They're really beautiful.
It looks like an animal designed by an artist. It looks like, and when you look, especially the face markings, it looks very made up. It looks very like, no pun intended. It looks like some graphic designer was like, we don't know what this looked like, make up a pattern, and they just did that. Like it's
wait, I don't get the pun. What unintended pun?
Made up, makeup.
Oh, okay. Gary, leave the horrible jokes to me, please.
What? Like, didn't you open this with a knock joke?
I did.
That's what I thought. For the record. So cheetahs are my number 3. Absolutely. Fascinating animal. A testament to natural selection, and it's just an amazing. That's why I think it ended up my number 3. We're talking about a highly specialized. This thing was just designed to do one thing super well. But it has a finesse to it. Unlike, you could also say that about maybe a great white shark, but a great white shark is basically just like a digestive system that swims. Like it's not very interesting.
There's some finesse to it. Question 2. She says, "Doesn't Duran Duran have a song about someone stealing a pet?"
Not
the leopard. That's the man who stole a leopard. There's a song, and let's talk about the difference between a leopard and a cheetah. A leopard is closer to. What would you say? It's closer to a jaguar than a cheetah?
Yes, I would say, yeah.
Okay.
Because physically, like if you spray painted them black, like they would look sort of the same. Where a cheetah, you would always know a cheetah, no matter what, even if it didn't have spots.
Yeah. As a child, a cheetah was one of my favorite animals. Yeah. Easily one of my favorite animals. I loved cheetahs as a kid. Wow. What a pretty cat. Even that photo there.
I know. Pretty hot. I took some time. I'm still bummed out that my fonts got reverted. I should have known better, but I'm happy.
By the way, Joshua, what do you think of Gary's fonts tonight? He's really showing off his design skills.
Picked different fonts and forgot when I upload it, it's not going to understand some of those fonts. So it looks like
wait till the next slide.
Or something, or Courier. I don't know.
The next slide, Gary's going to use Comic Sans for his next one. So pretty cool. All right.
Pearls.
Getting excited. So, numero dos.
Right.
Next one. While I would not like to meet this next animal ever in my lifetime, it is an animal that fascinates me amongst everyone else in the world.
Okay, wait. I wanna make a prediction. So you go ahead with your intro, but
okay. By the way, Josh says that your fonts are systematically murdering him.
I know, I understand. Me too. It's even worse for me, Josh, because that's my deck. It's fucking unacceptable, frankly.
Gary spent so much time on that, Josh. That is very mean to say it.
Okay.
He prepared. He had a week to prepare this, and all right.
I'm getting a sense from like the spirit.
You probably are guessing my next one.
Okay.
I don't know. Should you show your guess first?
No, I think I wrote it down. I'll show it either way, but like let's see.
My number 2. Amazingly interesting animal that I cannot get enough of is, of course,
just when I mentioned great white shark. No, I guessed. But see, I also thought
What did you guess?
Grizzly bear.
Oh, wow.
For some reason, I thought, I think he'll pick a grizzly bear.
No,
Great
I'm
white
not.
shark. Great white shark was in the running for my top 5.
Great white. Now, okay, I understand an orca can easily destroy a great white shark. So the great white shark is not the king of the sea.
No.
The orca is actually the king of the sea.
Even dolphins can drive off a great white shark.
True.
Yeah.
But there's just something majestic and dangerous and just super interesting about great white sharks, specifically great white sharks. And it's the fact, like, there's sharks that are faster and more agile, can get to you quicker.
Yes.
But a great white shark's just like, it's got the same cachet as Frankenstein.
It's the T-Rex of sharks.
For sure, it's a T-Rex of shark. Great white sharks are super dangerous in the water. However, not as dangerous on land, unless you watch old Saturday Night Live episodes.
Yeah.
But here, let's look at some facts about great white sharks. And they're facts.
By the way, one of the greatest movies of all time, Jaws, right there. Like that's...
Yes, absolutely. They're apex predators. We know that. Okay, here's a fact you didn't know about great white sharks. They can be weird and wonderful, according to the internet. Let's just throw these facts away because these are horrible. But here's a fact about a great white shark. Do you know that most great white sharks are named Arthur? Do you know that?
I did not know that. No.
Most of the males are named Arthur. So that's the last fact I have on it. But has anybody got some good great white shark facts out there? They're cool. There's a whole week devoted to them. So that's all I got to say. Very cool. Everyone knows about great white sharks. Come on.
I mean, it's I mean, how many animals have a week?
There's not a penguin week.
No.
By the way, if that's your number one, penguins, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's not my number one. No.
Okay.
Penguins didn't make my list, so you're fine.
No. Yeah, but no, I've always, since as a kid, and I'm one of those kids that would go to the beach quite a bit, but I would be terrified as we were driving towards the beach. I just imagine that there's great white sharks out there. And when I'd get to the water, I'd be, oh, I'm not going to go out there. And within 7 minutes, I'm 450 yards out by myself swimming because there's something magical about the ocean that just hypnotizes you. But yeah. And then Leanne says, sharks are mysterious and unpredictable. So crazy when you see people swimming with sharks and they don't get attacked. True, yeah. Like, go look up, what's her name? Ocean Ramsey. She swims with the giant white sharks.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, they're like pulling her. By the way, you know what else is dangerous and unpredictable? Kanye West.
It's true. Certainly the latter. I don't know if he's really dangerous, but unpredictable.
He'll have his own week pretty soon.
I have to admit, maybe it's because I grew up in the desert. I've never been comfortable with deep water. And like, I don't think I could ever go scuba diving. I think I would be very uncomfortable. I don't even like walking out. Like if I'm at the beach, I don't want to even walk past like where the water's at my waist. Like I just feel like I have this weird instinctive feeling like I don't belong out here. This is not, and I don't think it's strictly shark related, but that's a big part of it.
It's probably the surfers.
It could be the surfers too.
Bumping you with their shoulders.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, nerd.
Kicking sand in my face.
Yeah.
Right.
So I heard that in Michigan, somebody was killed by a shark in the Great Lakes.
What? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Impossible. I don't believe it. It's
Wait,
fresh water.
Lakes do not. Okay, a river.
in fresh water.
I guarantee if you Google this, I don't know any of the details. So why did I bring it up? I don't know. But a person in mid-America was killed by a shark in one of our great rivers that's way inland, like in mid-America.
Are we sure?
And I remember the bull shark.
A werewolf. Are we sure it wasn't?
It was a werewolf.
Okay.
It was on a yacht. They were having a big party. It was a full moon.
Yeah.
But anyways, I love great white sharks, and I really don't want to meet one. I don't have any desire to swim with them or get in a cage with them, but I kind of would like to go on a boat and see them. But that's how really tragic stories.
A boat. Or what I would like to do is, I've always wanted to go to the Monterey Bay Aquarium, where it has like, I guess, stairs down and like a giant glass, viewing thing where you're underwater, but you're looking out at the bay and you see the kelp forests and like the shark and the fish and all that stuff. That sounds awesome. But I don't actually want to go into the water. I don't want to do that.
And Leanne says that's why Corey and I are going to go kayaking in the lake.
You
stay with my wife, Corey Kerr, with your kayak.
Corey has a reputation.
Yes, yeah.
All right. That's a strong pick. That's a I'm very interested in seeing your number one now. I'm very curious where we're going with this.
So let's see your number two, and then I'm going to show some of your comments.
All right. Well, throw up my deck.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
So number two, the only preamble I have for this is I have a love-hate relationship with this animal. I have very mixed feelings. When I love this animal, I love it more than anything. And when I hate this animal, I hate it more than anything. And that's humans. That's my number two. Now, it could have been number one, except sometimes I think it could be number one. I just picked a random person off the internet. I don't know who that is, but this is representing all people everywhere. When I get the feeling I get when I'm listening to a symphony or watching Carl Sagan's Cosmos, or admiring the fact that we have flushing toilets and like clean water and sanitation, or like when we build satellites that can take pictures of stars that are billions of light years away. Like, I think people are the most amazing animal there is. That's just astonishing. But then some of them will storm the Capitol or try to tell you that the earth is flat or something, and it just breaks my heart. So this is my love-hate with humans. Overall, netted out, strong number two. Very competitive number two. But I had to dock them. They couldn't be number one. I'm sorry.
Hold on.
I'm sorry. Now you need a slight polite smile for the camera. Perfect.
Gary, I feel like this is the hydrated onions answer of the evening.
This is not. This counts.
I just don't know what to say about them. Humans.
I understand. Yeah.
Have you ever had a human as a pet?
First of all, that's horrible. Second, that's illegal. So no, I have not.
What does the gallery think about this answer in the comments? Do you guys agree? I know humans are animals, they're mammals.
I don't make my choices to please the crowd.
Do you think Corey was Gary's being? Well, it's bad that I called you Corey for one, because you're not Corey. You're Gary. But Leanne says, "Did somebody keep animals as pets?"
If you have, I personally have not. But yeah,
but that
has happened. Yes.
Okay, I think you just wasted a very good. There's a spotted owl out there crying right now because you did a
great pick. This is a great pick. And I'm very comfortable with this choice. I'm also very excited about my slide, frankly. I'm enjoying my slide very much. You have no idea how much I was looking forward to your reaction when I got to this slide. How big? Yeah, look at that.
Now, the rest of the show will be like this now.
Because as a penalty?
Yeah.
You picked animals. This is your category.
Okay. Oh, I think the jury might have spoken.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine.
I told you there'd be
I'm okay
laughs
with
on the
it.
show.
Look, I'm the guy that had McDonald's hotcakes as my number 5. I can withstand the slings and arrows.
Wow.
It's fine.
Where's Chris when we need him? Man. All right. Well, I'm thinking that and Leanne, slick,
see?
Gary, slick.
Let's see your number 1.
Well, wait. I want to. I'm going to show some of these comments from earlier.
All right, we're gonna catch up on the comments. All right.
Okay. Leanne wanted to bring up earlier. I know it's Leanne's show today. PA22 or P22 was he is a rock star.
Right.
Yes. You have a comment from Adam Lord. Great apes have legal personhood in some countries, like Canada. Mm-hmm. Leanne did this comment about our guy up the street that got his face ripped off by a chimp, and I was very sad when she brought that up, Leanne.
No, it's tragic, but that's also an example of like people shouldn't be keeping chimps. Like, I mean,
True.
I remember that story, that woman who got her face ripped off, and the chimp's owner, to get him off of her, stabbed him, and she said that he looked so shocked that his owner that he loved was stabbing him, like because he's an animal. Like they're not pets, they're not friends, they're not family members. Like, you know what? It's sad.
Between you and Leanne, you're really turning this to sad hour. Okay.
I know, but it's like
let's back up. I want to see Josh's top 5 animals. So Josh Kimball's top 5. Here we go. Number 5, honey badger.
Honey badger.
Fascinating.
Josh, if you ever come and visit one of the best venues here in town, little venues, Crescent Ballroom, their signature cocktail is the honey badger. We got to get a honey badger at Crescent Ballroom.
All right, done deal. Number 4, otter. I can get with that. Otters are amazing.
Otters are pretty great. Yes.
Very cool. Number 3, manatee. One of the cool. Now I know you don't like zoos, but one of the coolest animals to see at the zoo is the manatee. They're incredible.
Yes.
Number 2, elephant seal. I know that Josh loves elephant seal.
That's interesting. I would like to hear the explanation for elephant seal.
They're just incredible. They hold their breath for so long that we had a lady telling us all about it up in where's Hearst Castle at? Cambria.
Yeah.
We went there. That's when Josh went and Corey's family went and we went. It was incredible. But yeah, elephant seals. If there's a documentary out there on them, go check it out. You'll be way more interested in it than you would.
Okay.
Number 1, the most dangerous animal in the world, hippo. Kill more humans.
Vicious, adorable, but vicious.
Yeah.
I'm also noticing. I feel like I'm looking at his top 5 here. There's definitely a preference toward the sort of tubby animal. There's kind of a Rubenesque thing here. All these animals have a little bit of a belly, a little round, a little, they're a little chunky, I would say.
He likes his animals with some curves.
Yeah, he likes a little bit of meat, a little.
Oh, you're gonna say meat on the bone. That is morbid. That is morbid humor.
I stopped myself though.
Oh my God.
I see another top 5 in there. I see
Scott. Real quick, Scott Strickland comments on your fonts. Okay. Okay.
The fonts were an accident.
Scott's top 5. All right, here we go. Number 5. Number 5. A koala.
Yeah.
Okay.
Koala. Yeah. Good.
Koala bear. All right. They don't do anything.
Fascinating.
What's number 4?
A tardigrade. You've seen
that. You know what that is?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Tardigrade.
It's I believe it's microscopic. It's one of these like animals that's almost unkillable. It's a strange little. That's another thing that looks like a sci-fi creation. It looks like somebody took and in one of those like blow up bouncy houses and added legs to it, and like it kind of it's this very I mean it's if I'm remembering it right, but it's this, they're uniquely resilient. Like you can deprive them of oxygen, you can deprive them of wator, like they'll dry up, you reconstitute them, they'll come back to life. Like they're sort of
Like
fascinating.
monkeys.
They're cooler than sea monkeys, but
Wow.
but smaller. If
All right, number 3, octopus.
Yes.
Very strong.
Very, very good.
Love octopuses.
Yes.
Or octopi. Number 2, otter. There's some otter love going on here tonight.
A lot of otter love here, yeah.
And number 1, dog.
Dogs. Yeah.
Oh, which reminds me. I think I know
someone off right now. What's going on there?
What's that?
It looked like you were flipping off. There was a discreet flipping off.
This finger. I said, which reminds me.
Yes.
I think I know what your number 1 is, but all right. What else? What are the comments? Number
octopus
on every level.
I don't want to spoil, but stay tuned for those honorable mentions.
Okay, yeah,
there's a lot of tardigrade love out there.
Yep. They're also called water bears.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Water burgers, perhaps.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to go to my number one.
All right.
My number 1 wins to me in every category. They're the coolest animal. They're the most interesting animal. They are one of the scariest animals, but they're also one of the most lovable animals. And there's just something endlessly fascinating about this animal to me. I've loved this animal since I was a baby child and continue to love them as a adult boy.
Okay.
So I will now show you my number 1 pick.
Yes.
King of the animals.
Oh.
Let's hear it for.
Look at that.
Gorilla. Yes. I had to bite my lip earlier when you picked gorilla.
It must have been killing you.
It was killing me. But
so let me hear your gorilla love.
There's just again, it's the human. Can't believe it's human. It's the human element, of course, that we see ourselves in them. But also, I mean, it's basically like you combine a bear with a dog with a human they're just these incredible dangerous creatures, but that are also intelligent, but that are also ferocious, and there's dynamics within them. And I don't know, it's just something about gorillas. For one, I'm a huge ape fan. I love apes. Like there's so many, and monkeys too, but there's just something about the great apes that I've always loved. They're my favorite sets of animals.
Yes.
I love that they live in the jungle. That's just an added. Gorillas wouldn't be as cool, maybe they would be cool if they lived in the desert, but
that would be incredible.
They'd be scary. Really, more scary.
Yeah,
they'd be dirty. So, but there's just something endlessly fascinating about gorillas, and I think I'm not alone. I think a lot of people feel that way, as they do with great white sharks. I would love to see a gorilla riding a great white shark. That would be the coolest thing.
I can Photoshop that for you. I mean,
okay, we can do that. But this gorilla wins. He's a winner. I like winners. I like gorillas who win. I like these winning gorillas. A lot of people liking these gorillas these days. So.
I mean, I guess my main question now that I've seen your top 5 is, why don't you like people, Jim?
You know what? I love people. I have respect for them. That's why I don't put them on the animals list, because they are people. People are people.
And you know what? I think the world would be in a better place if we all could admit that we're animals.
Yes, I think the way you treat gorillas reflects on what type of perspective you have on humans.
I think so. I agree. I think that's, at least it's somewhat predictive. Yeah.
Yeah. So and God bless all the people that do hard work to preserve them.
Yes.
I would love to see an explosion in the population of wild gorillas. I think that would. And I don't know. I just really, if I ever meet a gorilla in person, I'll tell them, I will be like, you mean so much to me, and then
I
I'll
would
be murdered.
love to meet a
I'll
gorilla.
be ripped in half, but that will be worth it.
I would love to meet a gorilla. I would jump at the opportunity where I'm not interested in swimming with sharks or dolphins or any of that stuff. If someone was like, hey, I know somebody who knows somebody and we can get you in and you can have some time with this signing gorilla somewhere, I would, whatever they wanted, I would do it.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's no more monkeying around. Okay, Gary, get ready. Get ready.
I'm ready.
I already know what your number one is.
Well, you might not. I don't know. But this is what I'll say about my number one. Unlike my number two, I've never met one of these I didn't like. Even if they didn't like me, I always just loved them unconditionally. And right there. Look at that. Yes. Look at this fine specimen, by the way. This is Louis.
Is that your cat?
That's my cat. Some of you have probably heard him when sometimes he hears me talking on these videos and he comes in thinking I'm talking to him. So he just starts talking. Sometimes he's parked in his little kitty bed right back here. Louis is a retired alley cat. That's why you see this top ear is notched because they had fixed him and clipped him. They didn't know if they were going to just release him back into the hospital parking lot he was living in. You can't see it, but his other ear is like split lengthwise, whereas he got into all sorts of fights because he was a tomcat. So he's covered in scars. You can see how his mouth looks a little derpy. It's because they took a notch out of one of his lips. Like you see how you can see his tooth there. Like he was just brawling. And in this hospital parking lot there was a colony of stray cats out there. And he was probably just getting into fights and singing songs of love to female kitties and hoping that someone passed him a taco or something. Like you just living
doing the stray cat strut.
Yes. And eventually people went out there and trapped all these cats and fixed them all, released the ones they thought were too wild. And then adopted out, gave to shelters the ones that they thought someone maybe would want to keep. And Louis is one of those. And when I met Louis in a shelter, he stole my heart, like many cats have in my life. It might be silly. Now, let's talk about cats versus dogs.
Wait a minute. Ooh, no dogs. Rigged. I demand. You know what? Dogs go to hell.
Let's talk about it. There's cat people and dog people. I don't dislike. To me, I feel like when I talk about dogs, I feel like I'm talking about In-N-Out with a California person. I don't dislike dogs.
What is it with you eating all these animals tonight?
Dogs are fine. Like I like dogs, and I've had some great relationships with dogs. I really like some dogs, but overall, I'm a cat person. So let me to just compare and contrast. To me, dogs have always seemed a little needy, a little high maintenance, a little pathetic. Like there's a little bit of like, I know, but just stay with me, audience at home. Like there's a little bit, they're just a little too reliant on my approval, love, attention, etc., etc., etc. Cats are very much the opposite. A cat, I feel like it doesn't even feel like a pet. It feels like a weird roommate. Like it kind of has its own life, and you regularly reconnect with this thing that's living in your house, but it's very independent. And there's something about that. It's not like, oh, I don't want the burden of a dog. And it's not that. There's something about that that's fascinating and alluring to me. This animal that can kind of, loves you, but will kind of slow blink at you from the other side of the room and then walk away. Like there's something, it's an animal you're never going to fully know. It's an animal you're never going to fully understand. There is a mystery to cats. I find them endlessly fascinating. I regularly, this is no exaggeration, look at any cat and think it's like a weird alien creature. Like its face, its ears, the way it moves, its balance, the way it can hop around on things, the way it talks. It's just strange. It's not like any other animal. And that's part of just I love cats. I'm a cat person. I love my cat. It sounds dumb, but people with dogs will appreciate this. Some of the best friends I've had in my life have been cats. And I remember there's cats I've had that have shuffled off the mortal coil that I still think about, like very wistfully. Like we'll tell stories about cats that, you know, that we had, you know, when we were kids or something like that. Cats all the way. Cats number one, easy number one.
Which I just noticed that this hashtag Gary hates dogs looks almost like Gary ate dogs. So
Gary H.
ate dog.
Yeah.
Gary H ate dog.
I've had dogs and I've loved dogs I've had, and some dogs are, you know, I totally get the appeal. I prefer cats.
If you die alone,
they start eating you.
Start eating you. A dog would have the decency to wait until
it starts. It's true. But to be fair, if I was starving to death in the house, I would also eat my dead pet. So, like, I mean, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
You would eat your cat if you were starving in the house?
Why not go to the store? Like those rugby players ate each other in the Andes, like that plane that crashed. Like they were eating their teammates, which is another reason why people got bumped to number 2. They'll eat you. A lot
of people don't know. A lot of athletes eat each other, but that's a whole other thing. So,
Jeffrey Dahmer, finish that Jeffrey Dahmer series too. You know, also
our cats, Lucky and Tiffany, came from the pound. We just want you to know. I've never bought an animal from a pet store.
I have when I was younger and had a different opinion. Now it's only shelter.
My 2 cents on cats.
Yeah. I mean, look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Cats are amazing and wonderful, and I love cats. But I love dogs equally. And I know that's a very political answer.
Yeah.
But
it's very safe.
But I think anyone that harms a cat should be castrated. Should be. I know. I don't have it. I'm out tonight. Yeah. But I think really, seriously, anybody that harms a cat is an idiot. And
a cat or a dog, like
any animal. But I just remember as a kid, there would be people that took joy in telling stories about how they tortured a cat or something like that.
And I've always found that strange. There's a weird. You don't really run into people who just seem to despise dogs, but you'll meet people that really don't like cats, and to me it's like a thing, like if you're rude to a server, like to me it's an immediate like, well, you're a piece of shit and I don't need to know you, like, you know, like, I mean, it's just so strange to have such a strong, visceral, ugly reaction to an animal that has been bred to be dependent on your goodwill. Like there's something kind of cruel and ugly about that. Like, absolutely.
If you were an animal, would you think you'd be a cat or a dog? You'd be a cat.
What's that?
If you were an animal, you'd be a cat.
If I had to choose between cats and dogs, or all?
No, if you yourself were an animal, you would be a cat.
I probably more so than a dog. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. I have a little bit of a reputation of being a cat whisperer, where I've been to people's houses where they're like, that cat would just be careful. That cat doesn't like anybody. And in 15 minutes, that cat is in my lap. So
that is the worst thing to say on a first date, by the way.
I'm a cat whisperer.
I have a bit of a reputation of being a cat
whisperer. Well, fortunately, this isn't a first date. This is top 5, and you picked this ridiculous topic, so you're going to get my cat thoughts.
I love animals. I think they're great. We should probably donate like a proceeds of tonight's earnings to the World Wildlife Fund or the WWF, the Old Wrestling Federation.
One or the other. Yeah.
One or the other. But I'm proud that we picked this topic. I really am.
We have a strong, as usual, we have a strong 10 picks. Well, actually less than that, because we overlapped on gorillas. But
Yeah.
so I want to see your honorable mentions.
Oh yeah, we got to do that. That's right. That's how this show works, Gary.
That's right.
Okay. Jim's honorable mentions. Here we go. Lizards. I love lizards, but I didn't know what kind of lizards I was talking about. I'm talking about the house lizards, like the little lizards that are around your house.
Yes.
Like blue belly lizards. I love lizards so much that I did a movie called Infinity Pool about saving a lizard.
You did.
So, go lizards. I come home, when I pull into my driveway, the lizards are doing push-ups in the driveway. It's like they're waiting for me. And I walk up my steps, and for a while, there was a little baby lizard, like would look up. He would just like, hey, you're home. It was so cool. And then a couple times I come inside and there's like a little dried up baby lizard and the cat's just like laying there like that. And so she would go outside and catch them.
Yeah.
Cats are mean. So.
Yeah.
All right. So
love to catch things. Yeah.
Yes, they do. Crows. Oh boy, I love crows. I love them. Feed them. Love them hanging out around my house. They're welcome anytime. Cheetahs. Look at us, boy. Look at us. Cheetahs. Beautiful. The most beautiful cat in the world is a cheetah.
Yes,
I believe.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
Tigers. I think it's, in my humble opinion, tigers are the king of the cat family. I know that lions have the reputation, but in my view, tigers are the deadliest cat in the world. Period. I think they're the winners.
Well, and if I remember right, the Sumatran
and tigers are probably the coolest animal in the world too.
What's that?
Tigers are probably the coolest animal in the world.
Coolest, and if I remember right, the Sumatran tiger is the largest extant land predator.
Bigger than the
largest. I think the largest Sumatran tiger is bigger than the largest lion.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. I will believe you.
Someone can fact check me, but I believe that's true.
Okay. And then I'm going to jump to this one real quick. Wolves.
Yes.
Wolves are scary, cool, yes. And just the fact that they run the forest the way they do is incredible. Now, I picked chimps. I think chimps are, I mean, when you're a kid and you see chimps on Saturday morning cartoons and things, it's like, that's one thing. But they're just really, they're amazing, but they have the saddest stories, like in the wild.
Yeah.
So we won't go there. Now, vultures.
Fascinating.
I think vultures are so cool. They're so intimidating looking, but they're just there to pick up the leftovers. You know what I mean? They look like they could be a predator, but they're just there for the leftovers.
People sleep on vultures. Vultures are fascinating animals. They really are.
They're amazing. They're great. Yeah. And I like vultures because they talk like this.
As anyone who's watched cartoons in the 80s knows. Yeah.
Yeah, Bugs Bunny. Go check it out. Raccoons. In my opinion, in 100 years, we will have domesticated raccoons, and they will be right up there with cats and dogs.
Yeah.
Except they will probably steal your credit card and order things.
Yeah.
But,
or dig into your vents and like who knows what. Yeah, they're real smart. I can't believe
people eat raccoons. Stop eating the raccoons already, people.
That's weird. It's weird. Yeah,
that's really weird. And don't kill them. Just relocate them.
Yes. Yeah, trap and release. Yeah.
Yeah. I love raccoons. And then we get some big raccoons in Southern California climbing out of the gutters. I saw one stand up and it looked like a 5-year-old kid.
Was it a 5-year-old kid? Are you sure it wasn't?
He had a little bandit mask on.
Yeah.
Gnarly little hands.
A thieving little person, maybe.
Yeah. No, it was about, I was coming home one night. It was like really, really late or really early. And I saw these 2 raccoons coming out of the sewer, and then they both came out, and then I drove by them real slow, and I swear they both stood up and looked at me like this.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do? What? Okay. And yes, cats and dogs.
Cats and dogs.
Of course, cats and dogs. But I was
not be polarizing. You're saying you like them equally, but how many dogs do you own for the record? Remember, you're under oath.
Right now, we have none. We're
And how many
sans
cats do you
water.
own for the record under oath?
2 cats.
Yes.
2 cats for
I
the
rest my
record.
case.
Okay.
What say you, jurors?
So there you go. There you have it. So
All right. Okay, well, here's
look at
mine.
your honorable
Here's
mention.
mine. Honorable mention, octopi,
Did
octopuses.
you put that? Oh, that wasn't in your top. Okay,
No,
yeah.
it was, who mentioned someone? I think, was it Leanne? Who mentioned?
Well, Leanne loves them. Scott, I think, mentioned it.
Yeah, no,
maybe.
Leanne had octopus.
Leanne loves octopuses.
Fascinating. Another, like I said, a lot of my animals, they got bumped up into top 5 because they're unusual level of intelligence. Octopi fit the bill when it comes to that. Also, unlike almost any other animal on the planet, with a few little exceptions, cuttlefish and things like that. I even read a pseudoscientific thing once speculating that things like cuttlefish and octopi aren't even originally from Earth, that they might be like, and I think that is probably ridiculous, but it just goes to show like how unusual they are, how unusual their brains are, how fascinating. Like, there's all, you can see all sorts of weird facts about octopus intelligence online.
Yeah, I don't
like sit and watch TV with the family. They'll sneak
I
from
don't eat
one.
them anymore, Gary.
The what?
I don't eat them anymore.
Because yeah, I think it's another thing that I would be uncomfortable. Like I don't think I'd want to eat one. Like I would
Squid,
feel,
yeah. Squid, yes.
Squid, sure, yeah. But yeah, octopus probably not. So that's honorable mention. Pick. I almost wanted it in the top 5, but I couldn't. My 5 were too strong. Wolves, as you said. Look at that. Yeah. See? And then think about the rhinoceros. Yeah. There are some animals on my list. Gorillas kind of fit this too. Not exactly, but for a similar thing. You look at a rhinoceros, you're so used to seeing it growing up your whole life, cartoons of rhinoceros, drawings of pictures. You forget that this is kind of like a living prehistoric animal. Like this, it's so something that you would expect lived 500,000 years ago, a million years ago or something, you know, that we actually still have something like this walking around today is pretty crazy. They're very interesting animals. They're this weird combination of scary and sturdy and strong and weirdly fragile in some ways. I remember reading a little factoid about them years and years ago. It was Robert Bacher, who's a paleontologist. He was talking about how they're really good and really aggressive at like, you know, fighting and charging. But if you chase one too long in a Jeep, it'll have a heart attack and die. Like it's like, so it's this strange mix of like very good and very formidable in some ways and very fragile and kind of just a normal run of the mill animal in other ways. They're just I wanted to give them a shout out.
That Jeep comment is true for most people as well.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely for me. Yeah. Actually, for me, it's if I climb more than 3 or 4 flights of stairs, I do drop dead.
That's a great pick, though, right now. Do you have any more?
That's it. That's
all for the animal.
No, that's everything. That's all I got.
I'm gonna go through some of these comments. We have a bunch of so
I think I saw Adam Lore had a top 5 in there.
Yes. Is Adam Lore's top 5 animals?
Let's see here. Are you gonna count down or count up? What do you want to do?
Yeah, number 5 is
cetaceans.
Oh, I was gonna read that totally wrong.
I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I know what it. Those are like dolphins, right? Dolphins and porpoises and things like that.
Yeah. Number 4, tigers.
Yes.
Good pick. Monkeys. Yes. Gorillas. Oh yes. Number 1, chimps. So you're right with me with the animals, monkeys and apes.
Honorable mentions: turtles and armadillos.
Armadillos. Got some armadillo love going on.
Yeah.
Very good. Very, very good.
Very good.
Joshua says, "Oh crap! I forgot to mention the colossal squid."
Yeah, giant squid are. That was actually one animal that freaked me out as a kid. Most animals I wasn't afraid of. But then I remember my grandpa, you know, I was looking at some old drawing of like a squid attacking a ship, you know, and he's like, you know, those are real. And I was, what? I wanted to know everything about it. And when I started seeing like went down the child rabbit hole of what are squid like. I was like, this is a horrible, horrible animal. Why are we even allowing them to exist? Like, this is just a terrifying creature.
Yes. So, wow. So, Scott wanted to comment on the type of people that list humans as animals.
Man is the most dangerous game, Scott. No, I don't. Yeah. No, I'm very comfortable with that choice. The only thing I feel a little bad about is that people only were number 2. Probably should have been number 1. It's a shame, but no.
All right.
I find it a little shocking that you just don't like human beings enough to even consider them on your list.
I told you that this would be a fun topic. And we had a fun time doing this topic.
We did.
And we love animals and some people.
Some people, yeah.
And I think we all learned that Gary H. hate dogs.
Don't hate dogs. I've met some very fine examples of dogs. Yeah.
If you like dogs, please write to Gary.
No.
And by the way, Gary, what is
I'm gonna do the old Ringo Starr thing? Like, I'm too busy. It'll go right in the bin.
What is the address of your YouTube channel? YouTube.
It's just under. I think I'm just under Gary Hodges. I'm just under my name.
Is it youtube.com Gary Hodges?
Let me look. I don't remember. Let's see.
Because I'm going to promote it. In the meanwhile, you guys can go to jimluhan.com.
It's just under Gary Hodges. I don't remember. If you search for Gary Hodges, you'll find me. I can paste the link, but I forgot. They had me pick a thing when I got 100 subscribers, and I don't remember if I picked D versus M or Gary Hodges or what I picked.
But yeah, please subscribe. Go look up Gary Hodges. Type Gary Hodges Comics or whatever in YouTube and subscribe to the channel.
Gary Hodges, you'll find me.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. He likes people.
Even though I picked cats over dogs, I am a nice guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he didn't pick dogs, but
no, I didn't pick dogs at all. They didn't make it. Not even an honorable mention.
You picked wolves. That's
I like wolves better than dogs. Yeah.
So, also elephant seals, awesome animal. Please go check them out on their YouTube page. And I'm very glad you picked this topic, Gary.
You picked this topic.
I think this was an amazing topic. I don't think animals get enough press these days. I think the way you
suggested when I picked the topic for next week, I should one up you. Like, you picked animals, so he's like, it was like, let's do another kid topic. Like, it's like colors. Top 5 favorite colors. Top 5 favorite cloud shapes. But no, we're not doing that. I have a perfect, classic, broad appeal. Everyone's going to have a vote. Everyone's going to have an opinion topic for our next top 5.
What is our next top 5 topic going to be, Gary? Rhinos.
No.
Okay. Hold on. Let me put you full screen here. I guess.
Oh, why are you putting me full screen? Just do it where we're expanded and narrow, like that.
I wanted you to reveal. Okay, there we go. What is the next?
Next week, everyone's going to be able to participate in this one. It's going to be very fun, very easy. And we're going back, now that we've done a fun, silly, narrow one, animals. Now we're going to go back to very broad, like kind of that classic top 5 type topic, TV shows. We're going to do top 5 TV shows of all time.
And wait.
What?
Does that mean dramas, comedies, action?
No, all. Across the board. Across the board. I think now we can talk about limitations. I thought about this and I thought maybe we should not allow mini series. Like, you can't pick Roots or Jesus of Nazareth or like stuff like that. Maybe you can't. But you know what? No, if that's your favorite, go ahead, pick it. But I would say there needs to be more than one episode, not just a pilot.
So, okay, yeah. So a mini series.
Not a TV movie. Like not like
Right.
some like it needs to be something where it was multiple shows over a period of time. But other than that, I think now tell me what you think. I felt like it needed to have some sort of scripting, like no Big Brother, no game shows, no like there needs to be something that was kind of
Okay.
crafted. But I don't know. I don't
Here's
feel
a
strongly.
Pandora's box. The Pandora's box is, are we including like Netflix and stuff?
I think we could now I would say let's just do everything. But if you feel strongly about it, we can limit it to like pre-streaming era if you
All
want.
right, let's ask this. The people on the chat right now, we have enough people to vote.
Yes.
Can you vote? If you want it to be network, the classic,
Or
including
should we
Fox,
include streaming?
or do we include streaming for the best? Because streaming, that's going to open up a billion shows.
Billion
But
shows.
whatever.
That's
Somebody,
fine.
if you want network, type the word network. If you want it to include streaming, type the word streaming.
Yes.
If we get one vote and there only one vote, that'll be the answer.
And that's what it is. I'm
Yeah,
fine with that because I can tell you this, just like with our movies, just like with everything else we've done, I think I can speak for both of us. We're at a certain age where I can tell you my top 5 will probably be network regardless, because your favorites are things that you've had a relationship with for decades. It's
Yeah. All right. Let's see what the people have voted. Has anyone voted network or streaming?
Network or streaming?
Network or streaming? And
how
streaming,
many viewers do we have right now?
Network or both? Do both,
but separately. So 2 different, like we do a streaming edition and
that's top 10.
Well, maybe we do streaming some other time.
I'm going to count that as both, Adam, or Scott. I'm going to count that as both.
Well, he's saying both, but separately.
We'll have our separate lists, but both. Okay, there's both. There's both. I predicted Adam would say both, and I was right. So that's 2 for both, but separately. What the hell?
Both,
you guys conspiring against us?
So basically, are they saying like just to clarify, people saying both but separately? Are you saying like do one top 5 that's
network? 2 different shows? Okay,
2 different shows. That's what I assume.
Okay, so then,
well, if that's the case, then I choose network for next time.
Okay. All right. So, Scott, Josh, and Adam, you will get your wish, but we'll do the streaming.
We're gonna break it up. We're gonna break it up.
Streaming, so cable.
Next time, top 5 network TV shows.
Okay, I'm in.
Of all
featuring
time.
animals.
Involving Wild Kingdom.
Starring animals.
Yeah, starring the Muppet Show.
What is happening? I probably should post it. So this is what people wrote.
Network reaming?
Network streaming. Okay, and then Scott had written do both but separately. Adam wrote both. Josh wrote both but separately.
It like, I mean, it's not overwhelming, but 2 people said both but separately. 1 said both. So I think both but separately win.
And then finally Josh said, oh crap, I forgot Colossal Squid again.
Yeah.
So, okay.
And I agree with Adam. There's probably some sort of personality test based on favorite animals. It probably does say something.
Yes. So, well, I wonder what ours say. Ours says that like gorillas. So I think the animals thing I knew was going to have a lot of explanation. I knew your head was going to explode, and I knew that you would do the research.
I thought about it. Thought about it a lot. Yes. Also, an honorable mention I didn't list, but I wanted to. Elephants. Elephants are pretty great.
Elephants are very cool.
Yeah. That's another kind of like a rhino, like an animal that you can't believe still is around for us to look at.
Have you ever touched an elephant?
No.
I want to say that I have in my life. Mm-hmm.
I think I've had opportunities to. I know I've touched a giraffe.
We have.
Really? Yeah, there's a. You can do that at the Phoenix Zoo. Yeah.
Have you ever been touched by an angel? Is that going to
Only on the doll where the angel touched you.
I like that. That's the next line of that show. That's great.
Yeah. That's when they ran out of ideas in the writer's room. And
show me on a doll where the angel touched you.
All right.
Very
I'm
special
excited about top 5 network TV shows.
All right. And thank you for doing the animals one. Thank you, everybody that contributed answers and everything.
Thank you. Even though you did it.
Go for a steak now.
Even though you did it sort of sillily off the top of your head, I appreciate the animal topic, because we've all, from the beginning, we said top 5. It should be a mix of like very like obvious like TV shows, and very like weird, like get some very specific things. Like we've talked in the past about like, well, we did one Love Songs was a little specific, but we've talked even more specific things than that.
My suggestions have always been weird. I think a little bit weirder, like magazines.
You did suggest magazines. Oh, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, but had a good time, man. Had a good time. So anything you want to promote for yourself while we're here?
No, just subscribe to my channel Saturday mornings. Typically this weekend I think I'm going to be doing Sunday instead, but typically Saturday mornings I'm working on the comic. I'll turn on the camera and usually just talk about how it's going, and often have someone on to chat with, whether it's just casually or for like a formal interview.
You can catch my new show, This Is Real, Across the Looniverse.
Yes.
And, if you don't believe me, I can show you. I have a little quick. I'll do the short version.
Do you have a bit? Do you have a tease?
And that's it. That's the show where I talk about. I take one of my films that I did, and I just break it apart and talk about it and show art from it and the making of and some behind the scenes stuff. So
yes.
Check it out. And you're on my YouTube channel right now, so subscribe if you haven't. But subscribe to this guy's right here, because he loves cats and dogs. So
let's show that picture of Louis one more time. Let's just where is that? Look at that. Look at that. I mean, look at that. How is that not a #1 animal right there? I don't know.
His little thought bubble saying, "Kill me." He's been through some stuff, Louis.
Look at that. And that's what's fascinating, is like his life is written into his flesh with teeth and claws. It's fascinating.
All right, and I'm going to leave us with this great comment here.
It was. I'm excited for future episodes of Across the Looniverse.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you. There will be future episodes. So, but all right, you guys. Well, thank you, Gary.
Though I have to say, I'll live with Across the Looniverse, but I really liked. I think Paul Pate suggested Looney Tunes, but spelled, like L-U-J. I mean,
there's already that.
But it's so perfect. But Across the Looniverse is also great.
Well, by the way, I think most of my friends say the Luhanaverse, so that's why I put that AKA the Luhanaverse.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, thank you, Gary, again for doing this topic, and I had a good time. And go be nice to an animal, because then you'll be nice to a person. But all right, then, you guys. Good night. We'll see you next time.
Start thinking about your favorite network TV shows.
TV shows next time.
Wednesday or Thursday, we'll discuss Wednesday or Thursday our top 5 network TV shows of all.
By the way, I remember all the nights where all the sitcoms were on, like Happy Days and Laverne and Shirley and Three's Company. We'll talk about that later.
It's going to be fun.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Gary. See you guys. Thank you all. Bye-bye.